This happen to be the most common agents causing common cold. That's why it's called common cold. It's common. The virus, we call it rhinovirus. Rhino means nose. The rhinovirus happen to be the most common agent for common cold. There are 100 some types of rhinoviruses. 100 some types. That is the reason nobody devote any energy or investment to make vaccines for common cold. 100 some types. And you have to spend a lot of money to make those types. And then you don't know after you made the vaccine whether it will work or not. Influenza viruses, A, B, C. There are many subtypes. Coxsackie viruses, probably 30 some types there. These are the common ones we see that will cause common cold: sneezing, running nose, watering eyes, and miserable. Now, how do we treat common cold? Very simple. The first thing we do is fomentation. By fomentation, we simply means using moist heat applied to the area. In this case, you have runny nose, you have sinus congestion, and watering eyes. You can place a moist, wet towel over your face, cover this area. And this is a moist heat treatment. We call it fomentation. Then Huffle bath is another very, very useful method. You just get a water basin, or I often just use a waste paper, what do you call it? Huh? A basket, a little bit wider, bigger. And then you can put the water, hot water there. You can put your feet in there. And Huffle bath is very, very useful. I'll tell you how to do Huffle bath. Then stay away from refined sugar. Why we stay away from refined sugar? And in our experience, a person develops a common cold. Often it's not so much problem of the virus you get from another person. Very often it's because you have some refined sugar and lower your immune function. Lower the activity of a kind of cell I talked about last night. Very important immune cells, which is known as the natural killer cells. Natural killer cells love sugar. But the problem is, as soon as they have some sugar, they go to sleep. And they are on strike, so they will not helping you. And rest is very important. All right, let's look at Huffle bath. How many of you do not know how to do Huffle bath? May I see your hands? All right, a few. So most of you probably do know how to do it. I know in this church, in this congregation, we have many people who knows how to do Huffle bath. Andy, for example, is one of them. Andy, raise your hand so in case you don't understand what I tell you, when you need it, call Andy, he will help you. All right? Huffle bath. You put your feet in the hot water. How hot? About 104 degrees Fahrenheit. And how long? 10 to 15 minutes is all you need. And 104 is actually quite warm. Not to a point it's burning hot. Now, of course, if you cannot tell the temperature of the water, and I would suggest that use a thermometer, measure it. Because some people just cannot take too hot water. So if you, instead of 104, you have 120, you put in, you burn the person's feet already. 10 or 15 minutes. Then after that, you pour the cold water over the feet for 10 seconds, probably enough. Won't have to be 1 minute. And you dry out the feet. And if possible, cold water, just tap water. And if at all possible, allow this person to go to lie down and rest for an hour or so. Often after that, the person's cold is already over. Half-full bath is a very, very important hydrotherapy method. And, last few days, actually last week, I think, we went to, a friend took us to a Chinese restaurant. I love Chinese food, even though it's very sweet, and I still love it. My wife will often remind me, you're going to suffer tonight, or you're going to suffer tomorrow. I ignore her. I don't want to listen to that. So I just went ahead, eat it anyway. When I went home, next day, I had scratchy throat. She said, you see? And I told you. She said, hurry, do your half-full bath now. I listened. Obediently, I listened. I got out my bucket and get the water, and I started doing half-full bath. And I took a little nap, too. Pharyngitis or sore throat. How many of you have sore throat? All right. Now, most of the time, when you have sore throat, I would say, happen to be due to viruses. However, usually we want to find out whether or not a person has strep throat, okay, Streptococcus pyogenes, because small number of people with a strep throat will end up having rheumatic fever or glomerulonephritis. And small number, maybe 2% or 3%. So in most doctors' office, they can do a rapid technique. And in a matter of 5 minutes, they will tell you whether you have strep or not, you have streptococcus or not. If there's no streptococcus, and we don't give antibiotics because it's a virus then. And treatment is very simple. Get the towel and wet a little bit. This you can do it even with just a tap water and wrap around your neck. Then outside you can use a flannel cloth and wrap up around and maybe use a safety pin it. You can go to sleep in the evening if you do it in the evening. By the morning, the towel is usually dry. What happens here is that you start out a towel with the tap water. It may be just a cool. Then your body has heat. The heat would heat up your wet towel. And so you're getting, again, a hydrotherapy, moist heat treatment. And it's a very effective treatment. If you don't get well next day, and try again, all right? Sooner or later, you will get well. Now, croup is a condition. And again, stay away from refined sugar, all right? Stay away from Chinese restaurant, too. All right? Acute obstructive epiglottitis, or croup. When my son, our boy, was young, he got that almost every winter. Sherry, our daughter, never gets it, but Danny always got that. I still remember the first time when Danny had this croup. I didn't know what's going on. And my wife, during her pregnancy, she already studied a lot. The book by Dr. Benjamin Hua? Huh? Fox, okay. Oh, Spark. Yeah, she can memorize Dr. Spark's book. So this is the first occasion when our son, and in the middle of the night, made some funny squeaky noise. Funny noise. So we all rushed to see what happened in his room. He's lying there, he's making funny noise, and we look at his face is purplish color. I said, what's wrong? This boy has this my wife ordered me, go to the bathroom, turn on the shower. I listened to her, so went to the bathroom and turned on the shower. There, she brought our son to the shower room, closed the door, and as he inhaled the moist heat, his face turned pink, turned to normal color. So what happened is a little organ we have there called epiglottis, and that can become swollen. And when that becomes swollen, it will block the airway. So the child actually had difficulty to breathe and had to catch the air. By going into the steam room, the airway will be opened up. And so it's very simple. Now, once in a while, even you go to a steam room, the airway will not open up. In that case, it may not be due to viruses, may well be due to certain bacteria. If that's the case, the child cannot breathe, you need to help the child. You need to put something in his mouth, open up his airway so he can breathe. Don't put your finger